Hey guys, how's it going? Let me go ahead and set up this room and then we can get started. I think there's a pending buy for US 30 right now that I probably wouldn't take because we're gonna have a spike in price once the New York Stock Exchange opens right here. But I mean, technically this would have been an entry, so I'm just gonna leave that there. And then we'll just see how it, how it plays out. If it actually hits, but I'm not gonna take it. So let me just set up the room real quick and then we can get started. January's basically done already. This month flew by like crazy. All right, let me just save this stuff. And then let me go ahead and update the settings real quick. Let's post it over here. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out, guys. I don't think I'm going to take any trades today. I've learned my lesson trading on Fridays. It's usually not going to be good. So I'm probably just going to hang out. I'll give you guys trades, but I'm not going to take any trades on my own account. And I'll probably be easier because I don't have to worry about anything. I can just call out trades and then you guys can take them. All right, so let me set this up real quick. These links posted up. All right, let's go. Get this over here. Post this up on the Telegram real quick. So yeah, it's pushing up in profit right now. So I know Flynn mentioned it up. He mentioned it earlier, whether we should take it. But the main reason why I decided not to take it is because the New York Stock Exchange is opening in about 5 minutes. And generally on market open, there's like a huge spike. It's probably going to hit TP, but I didn't take it. So let me just send this link out real quick. There we go. And then I'm just going to post this on the Facebook real quick. Text me. All right, that's good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll probably spike up, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see how how accurate it is on market open because it can literally spike in either direction. Let's get this over here. I got that posted over there. Get this sent out. All right, I think I got one last place to send it. Let's post this up right here. All right, and then the one last place is going to be our IG. So let's see if this hits. We got about a few minutes left. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits because it's already pushing up. Looks like it's almost there. Let's get this on the IG real quick. That link up. Swipe up button. All right, so I think for the most part, we're pretty much good. Let me just move this over real quick. Just gotta open up this other program. Move this over here. Hold on 1 second. And then I'll pull up the chat. 1 second, guys. Let me just finish getting this going, and we should be good. All right, I think we should be. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I think we should be good. So let me go ahead and check the chat real quick, see what's going on here. Hey guys, morning. Hey Dennis, morning Matej, morning Peter, morning Cassian, morning Indra, morning Karen, morning Wave, morning John, morning Flynn, morning Sam, morning David, morning Matt, morning everybody. Good morning everybody. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to be trading today because I've already learned my lesson trading on Fridays. It's not usually good at all. So I'll probably just call out some trades for you guys and see if there's anything good to take, see that you guys can take it. But I'm personally probably not going to trade today. This is an entry right here for US 30. Flynn actually noticed this in the chat. We had the rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure. The only problem with this is that there's a lot of manipulation on the opening candle right here at 6:30. So I think on the next candle right here, like in a few seconds, actually 30 seconds, you're going to see this either spike up or spike down. So I wouldn't have taken this trade just, for that specific reason, but we'll see if it ends up spiking up. So let me see if there's anything else here real quick before we get started. Morning, Patricia. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like the stream, looks like we got 50 people in here. That'll definitely help the channel, and I'll definitely continue to come on here if we continue to keep growing this channel. But let me see if there's anything else here. Thanks for reminding me, Flynn. I always forget to remind you guys. Yeah, Matt, happy Friday as well. Yeah, see this crazy movement right here? See, look at the spike. There we go. So that's why I wouldn't have taken this trade, right? Because we have this crazy spike on market open. So thankfully we didn't take it. Hopefully you didn't take it either, Flynn, because I know you mentioned it in the group. Yeah, you said it was too risky before new NYSE open, which is a good idea. I'm thinking about maybe waking up early because I want to trade during London session. Maybe not on Thursday though, because it looks like the market kind of went kind of wacky on last night. I guess there were a couple entries right here. So looks like there was one right here. This rejected off this structure and then it came down. So it looks like this would have hit full TP actually. So this looks like probably would have been a good trade, depending on when you took it. Let's see, this one too. But it was like literally spiking all over the place. So I generally don't like to trade Thursday night up until Friday. And I just call it a week like Thursday night before London session, because obviously you can see right here, it was smooth all throughout the week. See, like from Monday up until last night. And then last night it started chopping up a bit, like these huge spikes. Look at this one right here. I don't know what happened here, but this was a spike for like 2,500 pips. It's a big spike right there. But yeah, guys, so let me go ahead and see if there's any questions in the chat before we get started. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll just be looking for some scalp entries today. I'm not really planning on trading anything, so I'm not really going to look at Forex because the weeks are pretty much done already. And we'll just pretty much just be looking for scalp entries. So if you guys have any questions about any pairs or anything like that, go ahead and put them in the chat and I can analyze them for you. Otherwise, today's going to be a pretty chill day. We might even end the session a little early today because I know most of you guys aren't really going to be trading today because you don't want to get caught in any moves. Looks like we have some breaking news for CNBC. Dow falls 200 points amid disappointing vaccine news. Wow. Okay. Johnson & Johnson said its COVID vaccine is 66 effective, but the single shot may fall short against variants. That's crazy. Okay. So yeah, market's not looking great. So it looks like it's going to be a bearish bias for today. So looking at this here, I mean, you guys could probably take some I don't know if I would take this though. So right here, this is rejecting off it, and it's obviously it's a sell signal. So this would probably be a decent sell, especially like amid this news right here. It's saying that the Dow is going to be falling because of disappointing vaccine news. So it looks like, you should probably have a short bias today just for some scalps, because I don't think it's going to recover by the end of the day. So this right here, I mean, this is a really messy trade, but technically it's an entry, right? Because it's rejecting off the red and yellow pivot right here. It's rejecting off the structure. And I mean, you could technically take a short position right here. I probably wouldn't take it because, like I mentioned, this is a manipulated move. So this might end up spiking all the way back up before it, it takes its direction. So, I mean, we'll see. I'll keep watching it. But if you guys have any other questions, we can take a look at, whatever else you guys want to look at. Otherwise, all of our FX positions have closed out. I think everything hit TP already. Our GJ is done. I don't have any green flags over here, so it looks like everything's pretty much closed out. Our NZD USD hit full TP. Our GCAD hit full TP yesterday. Let me just turn off all these alerts because I got so many alerts still set up from the week, but we already hit all of our TP, so I think we're pretty much done for the week. So let me just delete all these right here. See all these alerts I got, guys? This is pretty much all of the trades that we took this week. They all hit full TP for the most part. I think some of them hit TP2 before like reversing and stuff, but I mean, for the most part, everything looks pretty much good for the all of our alerts here. I don't know why this stuff doesn't update. Let me just update my charts real quick because these alerts actually we hit full TP on this. All right. Okay, it did update now. So it's just lagging because I haven't updated the chart from last night. So let me just close this stuff right here. We have a lot of alerts from this week. But we did hit a lot of TPs. I got to go ahead and put the results together today too for all the positions. Let me just delete this. The only alert I need is US 30. It's pretty much it. I should probably set alerts for other pairs too, though. Damn, look at that drop, guys. Crazy drop. See that? So this is why we decided not to trade on Friday and not take that opening candle. I probably wouldn't even take the scalp because this is a huge spike down. What might happen here is it might end up like swinging back super heavy. So on this opening candle right here, this dropped like nearly 2,000 pips. It's a big drop for one candle, one 10-minute candle. This isn't even a 30-minute candle. It's a 10-minute. So be careful in the market, guys, if you guys are trading. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of market manipulation this morning with, the new COVID news. If you guys are just joining the room, the CNBC sent out breaking news regarding, the Dow. Says the Dow falls 200 points amid disappointing vaccine news, lingering concern on trading frenzy. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the market, with the manipulation going on in the stock market with like GameStop and AMC and Robinhood, like, silencing everybody on being able to trade. And then on top of that, we have COVID news right here, where the vaccine is only 66% effective. So just keep that in mind if you guys are trading today. I'm not trading today, but I'll give you guys scalp entries if I see them. Let's see if there was any entries for the NASDAQ last night. Yeah, so there's a nice entry right here. If you guys took this entry, check out this this red candle right here. We had a rejection off the structure, the K2SR zone, rejection off the pivot. And if you took this long position right there, full TP, we'd probably shoot for about 500 pips on this. So if you guys took that trade for NASDAQ last night, that was at about 5 a.m. Or it wasn't even last night, it was an hour ago. If you guys took that entry an hour ago, looks like you would have made some nice profit off that. Everything else during London session was kind of wacky, though. You can see right here. I think a lot of these, let me see how much this dropped. So this might have hit TP depending on where your TP was. I think 300 to 500 might be the sweet spot for NASDAQ. Maybe 300 would be better to be safe. So this would have hit TP right here. This looks like it would have hit stop loss probably. This one too. This looks like it would have hit TP right here. Yeah, that would have hit TP. So it looks like a mixed bag for scalping NASDAQ last night during Asia into London session. And, like I mentioned earlier, if you guys are just joining, I usually don't trade Thursday night up until market close because the market starts to move weird. You can see here from the rest of the week, it was pretty smooth. You've taken all these scalps and straight for like full TP, right? And then you enter London session or like Thursday night and everything is choppy. So that's why I'm not trading today and why I usually don't trade Thursday night. So going back to US 30 over here. Damn, it's a crazy spike. Let me check the chat real quick. All right, looks like we have more people here. Hey, morning, Josh. Morning, Skillstraight. Morning, Deswell. Morning, Sasquan. Morning, Matej. Morning, everybody. So let me see what else is going on here. Let me check the chat and see what questions we got going on. So see, the first question here is Flynn said, I scalped Euro NZD sell this morning with a new strategy, 450 profit. Nice, nice. So Flynn, which, let's check out EN real quick. Did you scalp it on the 10-minute or did you scalp it on the 30? I'm just curious, what you scalped it on. I'll just open this window over here. All right, Mercaba, how's it going, bro? Let me check this real quick. Euro NZD. So you scalped Euro NZD for 450 bucks. Nice. Flynn's been killing it, guys. I don't know if you saw Flynn's profits. He's been like on point. Let me see if I can find them over here. Yeah, Flynn is super on point. I think, yeah, last night Flynn sent me his profits due to scalping GA over here. Dude, 400 bucks yesterday, GA and US 30. This is last night too. Another win for US 30 right there. So congrats, Flynn. I know you're doing pretty well. You're going to bounce back from your FTMO ASAP. So let's see on the 10-minute. Okay, so let me go ahead and look at this real quick. I'm just going to draw some zones here so that we can see, what Flynn was trading. Yeah, so it looks like Flynn most likely took, let's draw a big zone right here. It looks like he probably took these trades right here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and hide this over here. So Flynn took this trade over here. It looks like there was a nice rejection of this big one right here. So I'm assuming you took this trade right here, Flynn. This rejection off the pivot and off the zone right here. So if you were to take that trade, looks like a great trade right there. Nice rejection. You take that scalp entry right here. Or let me just zoom out from this point. Short position right there. You probably didn't take this huge move, but probably like somewhere around here. I'm assuming like 40 pips or something like that. So 40 pips. So it looks like Flynn took the short position right here for Euro NZD straight to full TP. Great job, Flynn. So Flynn took that trade right there on his own using the K2 strategy. Made some nice profit. Looks like he locked in 450 bucks. Great work, bro. So let me check the chat real quick, see if there's anything else missing here. Skillstraight said, I sold EN last night on 2 of my accounts, woke up to full TP and stop loss on the other. LOL. That's what not paying attention details get you. Yeah, exactly. So like for this right here, if you're paying attention, I mean, obviously you'd go straight to full TP. I guess if you probably would have taken this one down here, actually this one would be fine too. This would hit TP as well. So if you took both of these trades right here for EN, looks like you would have hit full TP here and full TP here. So that'd be a gain for 80 pips for 2 scalps. Actually 3 scalps. There's one right there, and then another one right here. So you'd be 120 pips in profit, 120 pips. And then if you were to take this on a standard lot, 10 bucks per pip, you make 1,200 off these trades right here. Some really nice scalps right here for EN. I found EN. Well, me and Flynn noticed that EN, a lot of the Euro to GBP, AUD, NZD crosses work really good for the scalp strategy because they move really fast. So great work on that, Flynn. I'm definitely going to start scalping on these Forex pairs as well. I've been more focused on US 30, but it wouldn't hurt for me to try another and just make more profit. It doesn't really hurt. So let's see US 30 real quick. Yeah, if you took this sell right here, it looks like you would have hit full TP again. So, or almost. So this would have been the entry right here. It's like on its way to a full TP right now. Obviously we have the rejection. Actually, this wouldn't be an entry because look at the pivots. They're like super messy. So this wouldn't have been an entry and I probably wouldn't take it because of this manipulated move, but everything else looks pretty good for the most part. Let's see if there's anything else here. Deswell said, and he's starting on, yeah, definitely. I'm starting on Monday too, Deswell. Hate Fridays as well. Sasquan said, quick question. When shut down from the public, will I still be able to sign up? Will you still be able to sign up? No, Sasquan. So you need to sign up ASAP because once it's closed, this is going to be closed as well. Like I'm not going to be giving any more scalps to the public. I'll just be giving scalps to the premium members only. We're going to go like on a private call and I'll just be giving out these same trades to you guys live. And then I'll probably go like once a week for the public, but it's not going to be like every day, like how I've been doing. Cause I've just been too busy, guys. I'm like, I'm here answering a lot of questions, and I prefer to just trade. And, you know, I think like during this week, I missed a lot of trades because I was answering questions and I had to go between charts. So if I just trade live for the premium members, you know, we can make a ton of profit doing that. Cause like right here for US 30, I think you guys have seen like this, there are so many entries here. Like if you looked at this over here, like if I just replay this, there's so many entries here that we took, and a couple that I missed because I had to answer questions. But like right here, see this nice rejection? We have a wick rejection off the pivot and off the structure right here. And if we were to take this trade, full TP. So a full TP right there. And then there's a whole bunch. Like this whole week was a great week for all of us. We had another one right here. There's actually two entries right here. One right here, which what if it actually, let me see. I don't think that one would have been this entry. Yeah, this one would have been entry, this would have been an entry, and then there's a whole bunch right here. I think this is the one we took yesterday, right? Actually, we skipped these right here because I was asleep. Now that I think of it, I was asleep because this is 4 o'clock. And then I woke up right here at like 5 o'clock and I took this trade with you guys. We took this one over here and then we hit the full TP. And then I think we took this one again right here yesterday. So if you guys go back and rewatch the replays, I took all these trades right here live with you guys. We took this one here and I think we took this one right here as well. And they were all pretty good. So that's one, yeah, if you want to have access to, you know, my live sessions and to the strategy where you can apply this yourself, like how Flynn did last night and lock in profits off EN, you have to sign up like as soon as possible, because once we close it, I think we're going to close it by the end of the month, probably by tomorrow. Let's say it's 29th. We have about 2 days left or 3 days left in this month. The reason why I'm closing it is because I'm going to be more focused on my trading. Obviously, I'm not really like, I don't mind helping you guys, but I just want to focus more on my trading rather than answering questions every morning. So if you guys want to sign up, just go to the website, k2trades.com, and then you can sign up right here. If you want to have access to the indicators, you can take the strategy on your own. You just click on K2 strategy course right here and sign up, and then you'll have access to this, and you'll have access to one-on-one mentorship with me so that I can show you guys exactly what I do here. Because if you guys saw everyone's profits this week, it's literally been like insane, guys. Like the profits, I've never seen like so many consistent profits from everyone, like trading on their own and like trading with me. So Josh over here, he locked in about, you know, yesterday night, he locked in almost 2,000. Like it's crazy. Varun over here locked in about 500 last night. This is from last night. Lisa over here, she took that US 30 sell that we were talking about yesterday. She locked in about 1,123. Josh over here locked in, this is when his day started, at about 500. And then Lisa right there. Billy killed it. He got 5,000 yesterday on his new FTMO. Chelsea over here. You can see everyone in K2 is just like killing it, guys, right? So I want to focus on making sure everyone in K2 continues to kill it. Look at Tam over here. Look, about locked in about $400 and some more right here. Scalping. She said, out of my mind, checking my profits like. Dejan over here, we had a live session yesterday. Lisa over here with 2,400. Sisuk over here. See, everyone's like profiting. These aren't even my profits. These are literally just like K2 members. Like Jeremy over here, she used to be in K2 for a while. She like finally like sat down and focused and disciplined. She cut out of social media and just watched my videos. And she's been watching these morning scalps, and look how much profit she made. Like literally everybody here is just profiting, guys. And I want to make sure everyone here continues to profit. Even Nagin, she just signed up with us, and she like literally signed up with us yesterday, and she made her whole like subscription for the year, basically 1,300. Billy over here, this dude is like 100% win rate. Lowest drawdown was $122. Shawn, I'm legit in awe, man. Like his FTMO was like literally straight profit. And he's coming back. Like there's a lot of people here that weren't doing so well. They joined K2 and now they're like killing it. Joshua said better than sex, bro. Joshua locked in 3,145 like during the day. Cheryl over here. And I could go on with this forever, guys. You know, I'm here to make sure everyone in K2 profits with me, because obviously what I have here works. And I'm going to focus on making sure that we're taken care of, like me and the K2 fam, before I go and help out the public any longer. Because, you know, obviously whoever's loyal to K2, I'm going to take care of you guys, make sure you guys make a lot of profit with us. And I just, you know, I just need to focus on us before I help out other people. So let me see if there's anything else here as well. let me continue over here and see what else was asked before we continue on with this. So I'll keep watching to see if there's entries. If you guys see any scalp entries and you guys want me to verify them, just put the scalp entry in the chat, and I can take a look at whatever pair that we need to look at. Let me see. All right, cool, perfect. Hey, Karen. So I just saw your message, Karen. If you guys are messaging me on Telegram, I am probably not going to be able to get to you guys right away because I'm here like looking at the chat, but I'll get to you guys eventually. So let me see what else we got over here real quick. All right, we're good with that. Let me scroll down right here. I think Sasquan mentioned something. I meant, will I be able to sign up to become a premium member? Yeah, Sasquan, you can sign up whenever you want. But these these links are not gonna work anymore probably by the end of the month. So by tomorrow or the day after, we're probably gonna discontinue signups because we're just gonna be too busy with our own team here. So let me see if there's anything else here. Peter said, everyone hit the like button. 85 people watching, only 33 likes. Yeah, guys. So if you guys haven't already, if you guys can do us a favor and just hit the like button, that'll definitely help us grow this channel. And the more that this channel grows, the more that I'll go live to share these with you guys. Because obviously, I want to help out the premium members. And we're gonna close off the signups where people can't learn the strategy, but you guys can still like watch my trades and copy them whenever I do go live. So if we continue to get more likes, I'm gonna continue to go live and show you guys my trades. But if not, I'll just do it privately with the premium members. So it's really up to you guys if you guys want me to keep going online and showing you guys my trades live, or if you just want me to just do it privately with the K2 members. So let me see if there's anything else here before we continue on. Marcel said another day, another dollar, definitely. Hey, morning, Kimmy. Let's see, Flynn said mid all. Oh, nice. So Flynn took it for 25 pips, actually, that EN move that he took over here. Yeah, so Flynn took it for 25 pips, which is still pretty nice. I mean, yeah, he got in and out pretty quick right here. I think the sweet spot for EN is probably 20 to 30 pips. So 25 is a good sweet spot right in the middle. So yeah, if you took 25 pips right there, I mean, it's like straight profit. It doesn't matter if you took 25 or 40. Like if you took this trade right here, full TP, 25 pips, another trade right here, full TP, another trade right here, full TP, and yeah, straight up. Looks like there's probably even going to be more down here, Flynn. I don't know if you're looking at this down here. Actually, there's more entries right here, Flynn. If you took these two, there's actually a lot more because there's another zone right there. So there's like, let me count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 wins. So 5 wins for 25 pips each. If you're stacking those positions, 5 times 25, 125 pips. If you're in a standard lot times 10, that's $1,250 profit right there. If you just stack those wins right there. Generally, I like to have enough cushion to take 5 stacked positions at a time, so that if they all hit, I hit 5 times my profit. So let me continue on with this real quick and see what else we got here. Dejan said I'm late. Had to watch WandaVision. It's a funny show, dude. Matej said, where can I find the Fibonacci on TradingView? So Matej, if you want to find the Fibonacci, it's right here. You click on this button right here. Or sorry, not this one. It's it's this tool right here, the one that looks like a fork. So you click on that right there. It has the Fibonacci retracement. I don't use Fibonacci, so there's nothing that I could show you for Fibonacci. But if you want to use it, I mean, you're fine to use it. It's right there on that side. Matej said, will you do live to VIP group signal group 2 or not? Yeah, I'll do a live for you guys, Matej. You guys are fine. For you guys that are in premium already, you guys don't have to worry about anything. I'll be going live for you guys regardless. It's just for the public group, like here for the people that aren't in K2. I'm kind of giving out all this free knowledge every day. And the channel is just, it's just taking up a lot of my time because I want to just trade on my own. So I'll still give all the premium members all the help that you guys need. It's just for the new people here that are just, sitting in on the sessions. I'm probably not going to go live for them anymore. Well, I'll go live, but not every day. Because this is like, I'm trading for you guys live every day, Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday. And it just takes a lot of time out of my day when I could just be scalping on my own or with you guys. Flynn said the US 30 reached the bottom. It hasn't broken that lower structure in a long time to scalp up. So Flynn, I think, well, I don't technically think it reached the bottom, but I think what happened was this drop is due to the news this morning. So the CNBC mentioned that the Dow dropped, X amount of points because of the bad vaccine news and because of the manipulation going on in the market. So I don't think it's going to recover until next week. It's probably just going to keep bouncing around here, consolidate like quite a bit sideways before it ends up, finally moving over. I'm going to change these lines because I changed these to thick lines last night when we were looking at that US 30 entry, but I feel like these thick lines kind of distract me. All right, so we're good. Let me delete this up here too. All right, looks like we're good here. So let me see if there's any other questions before we continue. Let's see. Peter wants me to take a look at gold. So let me take a look at gold real quick. I'll analyze it. I'll analyze it on the 4-hour first, and then I'll analyze the scalps on the 30-minute. Because, yesterday we analyzed gold on the 30-minute, and the scalps are crazy. So gold's doing exactly what I've been mentioning for the past 2 weeks, right? I mentioned that it's going to go sideways for a long time, and that's pretty much what happened. I said it was going to range within these two zones ever since the 8th. So it's literally been ranging within these zones. And I mentioned that I probably wouldn't take any like longer positions until it breaks above here or breaks below here and closes, because it'll obviously shoot up further up or shoot down further. Otherwise, it's just going to range sideways. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that on the 30-minute, because we did look at that on the 30-minute, and it actually, I hate this like Zoom thing. Like it's stuck on the top. I can't click on, move this over. There we go. So yeah, I looked at it on the 30-minute, and the scalps actually look pretty good for the most part. So I'll just look at this on the 30-minute for any, possible scalp entries. And wow, look at this. So if you guys took all these trades here for gold yesterday, or not yesterday, this morning, look at this rejection off here. You guys could have made a ton of money off gold just using the K2 strategy off here. Because look at these wicks. So we have the wick right here, the wick rejection. At this point, there's a bunch of them. So there's one right here. There's one right here. There's one right here. There's one right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 wick rejections right there off the pivots and the structure. So if you were to take these trades right here, each trade would have locked in like massive profits. 800 profit right there. That's one win. There's another one right next to it right here. Another 800 profit right there. 830 profit. Again right here, this candle, another 830 profit. And then obviously this red one right here. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, the red one, and then this one as well. So that would have been 3 back-to-back wins right here if you scalped gold using my strategy. Obviously, we look for the same thing: rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure, and it'd be 3 back-to-back wins here for about 830 pips each. So if you're trading gold and you use my scalping strategy, 830 times 4, you would have locked in 3,320 pips. Scalping this. And this is what I mean about stacking your positions. If you're like, I like to keep room for 5 stacks. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these all hit TP, obviously they all hit TP because they went straight up. You would have locked in some massive profits off that. So this looks actually pretty good for the most part on here. For this over here, let's see. We have a question here. Citi said, how would avoid those losses on the left of gold? So generally, when the market's consolidating, I don't trade, because obviously you want a market that's actually moving. So like, for example, here, you can see that price comes up and it literally goes sideways for a long time. If you guys sat in on my other session, I mentioned that if you have one loss, then to sit it out and wait for it to shift in the other direction. So for example, here, if you were to take, there is like one entry that would have been right here, right? This sell entry. Let's see what happened here. So on this point right here, if you took this would have been a loss, right? So if this would have been a loss right here, then I would have waited for it to shift upward. So I wouldn't take any more sells, and I'd wait for it to shift up from this point. Like once you have your first loss, then just take a break. Go take a walk, go do whatever you want to do. That's what I told John yesterday. Go take a walk, go walk to Pizza Hut or something, go get a pizza, and then take a break. And then once it comes back up this way, and then you have an entry in the opposite direction towards the upside, then you can take all of these right here, right? Because this would have been a win, this would have been a win, this would have been a win. You would have been good. So in that case right there, you would have skipped this trade. You would have had one loss right here, and then you just would have waited for these over here. It would have covered that loss, and then you could have stacked more positions to continue to win from that point. So this has like been pretty good. I mean, for the most part, it's been pretty good for everyone. I think we analyzed these other trades over here. So for example, loss right here, couple wins right here, you'd be in profit. And then if you looked at gold the other days over here, I forgot what we looked at. Oh, like right here, we looked at these two trades yesterday, right? So we have the rejection off the pivot, rejection off the K2SR structure. From that point, let me see if there's any structures here. So yeah, we have the structure that was drawn right here from the K2SR. So I would have hit that. And then from that point over there, we would have taken a short position right here, full TP right there, taken another short position right here, rejects off this. So we have one win right here, one win right there for a short position. We have another rejection right here. Looks like it's another win for a short position right there. Another one next to it, that green one, another short position there. So this is what I mean about stacking the positions, right? You have 3 back-to-back wins. You have another one right here, this red one, this red candle. That's 4 back-to-back wins right there. And then you just keep stacking them, right? So that's 4 or 5. Another wick rejection right here. That's like 6 wins. And that's what I mean about stacking your positions when scalping, because you got to be quick. You just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is another win. 8, another win. 9, another win. Like you could literally just keep scalping all these. So the 9 wins right there for like 630 pips each. 630 times 9. You would have made like 5,670 pips. I might start trading gold again. I haven't traded gold in a long time, but this strategy just works. It works flawlessly with a lot of these pairs that I stopped trading because they're just always manipulated. But now I have a system that actually works really good for scalping, not just gold, all the indices. You guys saw when we looked at the indices last week, right? Like literally so many TPs hit. You can do this on the 30-minute or you can do it on the 10-minute. It's really up to you. Looking at the 10-minute here, it looks like there's a lot of more smaller entries you could have taken, like something like this right here. Taking that full TP right there. You probably go for a smaller target, maybe 300 pips, because it's on the shorter time frame. But they hit pretty well. So that's pretty much what I see for gold right now. If we're looking at gold currently, I mean, obviously there's no entries right now. Let me see if actually there's some scalp entries that are available. It looks like right here. So we got this whole area right here that, let me check this out. Yeah, so these are going to be connected. This is going to be one big zone right here. And then we got a couple other zones down here as well. So if you guys have been following, if you guys don't know the strategy, go back and watch all of my live streams from Friday up until today, because I go over the strategy pretty in detail if you want to see how I use it. You guys can even sit in on the mentoring sessions, because I teach the K2 members one-on-one how to apply the strategy as well. So like, for example, right here, I mean, there's a bunch of crazy, obviously I wouldn't be trading today because today's Friday, but if you took the other trades throughout the week over here, there's a bunch of entries. Even right here, we have all these wins right here that you could have taken. And yeah, up until like the beginning of the month, if we go back over here, you can see this is like on the 19th, like prior, and there's still a bunch of entries right here as well that you could have taken. It's like literally endless. Like there's so many profits you can make here off gold. So I'm probably going to start trading gold again. Wow. Yeah. Look at these right here. So I'm just looking at these. This is like back on January 10th, these same zones. Cause you know how I mentioned over here that gold was ranging. This is actually the perfect type of condition for you to apply the strategy, because he just keeps bouncing back and forth. Like for example, right here, we have the, the rejection right here. If you were to take this trade, there's a rejection off the pivot, rejection off the K2SR zone. You take it short right there. Wow. Look at that. 1,547 pips. That's a huge drop right there. So that's a win right there. We have one win there. We take another one right next to it. This red candle right here, it wicks off it, and it wicks off the structure, wicks off the pivot. Another 1,500 pips right there. Wow, that's crazy. And I've never back tested this far back, just looking at this here, it's like there's a ton of opportunity here. Rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure, another 1500 pip there, and you just stack the position. So that's a bunch of wins already. So that's it for those. And just looking at that there, 1500 times 3, 4,500 pips within how long was this? So from this candle up until here, only 2 hours. So 2 hours, you would have locked in that many pips. That's pretty insane. But yeah, I mean, if there's any pairs you guys want me to look at, you know, to show you guys the strategy, it works on everything, literally everything. So if you want me to, I can pull it up. Just put in the chat, you know, whatever you guys want me to look at, and then I can show you. Because today's Friday, so I'm not going to trade at all today. You know, Friday hasn't really been good for anybody. So I'm just going to sit out the market and I'll just show you guys stuff. Or if I see trades, I'll call them out for you. I just won't be taking them on my own. Like this right here, look at US 30. There's an entry right here, but I'm not taking any of these because this is like such a huge manipulated move right here. Like one 10-minute candle dropped 2,200 pips. Like obviously it's a manipulated move because look at the normal candles here. They generally only move like 400 pips. You go from like moving 300 pips to 400 pips to 2,000 plus pips. It's not something I want to mess with. So let me see if there's anything else here before we continue on with this. Let's see. Matej said, can you answer again? I didn't hear. Please and thanks. Will you do live to VIP too or not? Yeah, Matej, I'll still be doing the live sessions for all the premium members. But like whenever I trade live, I'll just send it. I'll send you guys a link, and I'll just go on Zoom, and you guys can copy whatever trades I'm taking. Let's see anything else here. Talanji said, good morning, Shawn. Could you take a look at UK 100? Let me know what you think is going. So I'll pull up UK 100 real quick. You know, I'll pull it up on the, I'll do it on the big chart first, and then I'll go look for a top-down analysis. So I'll look at UK 100 here. I'm gonna hide this. And you guys already know, like all you guys who have been here for a while, you guys know exactly how I analyze charts, right? So for indices, I usually start on the 1 hour because it moves very fast. I turn on the K2SRs so I can draw my zones on the chart for you guys. And if you guys are new here, you guys can go ahead and like watch all of my lives, like all my previous live streams. I do the same thing for every pair when I analyze them, and they play out perfectly fine. First, I draw my zones using the K2SR indicator, which pretty much plots out the perfect zones for you. This is my algorithm that I created. So if you guys want access to it, you guys can get access to it. Just go on the website, k2trades.com, and then you guys can sign up for access. Because this is pretty much how everyone's killing it. You know, they're able to lock in these perfect zones and lock in like some massive profits from here. So looking at UK 100, we don't have a lower zone, so I'm going to go in the higher time frame. Wow, it looks like it's dropped super far where it hasn't really been in a very long time. So I'm just going to draw this down here and this down here as well. So, you know, for the most part, it looks like all the indices are just dropping. It's not just US 30. It's actually all of them for the most part. So I'm going back on the 1 hour right here. It looks like price is rejecting off this structure. Let me see if we have okay, so we have a bearish bias right here, right? So looking at the charts over here, this is where the drop started. So the drop started right here where we had a rejection off this K2SR level. As you can see right here, we had a rejection from the K2SR level right here. Following that rejection, we had a sell signal right here, indicating a momentum swing downwards, right? So we have the rejection, the momentum swing downwards confirmation right here, and it also broke structure as it continued to move down further. So at this point, it pushed down to here. And then what could happen from here is, you know, one of two things. For one, price can either continue dropping down. So say this rejects off this point and then comes down further, right? This can easily happen right here. That's one scenario right here where it comes down, breaks below, and then tests this structure right here before either, you know, rejecting up or continuing farther down. So this is like scenario number one. It continues to drop. That's just one idea of what can play out. What else could happen here is, which would possibly happen is it's probably going to reject off this structure, right? I don't think it's going to continue dropping that far. I don't think anything too crazy has happened for the UK 100 to cause it to really drop. Aside from like all the craziness in the market, it's going to have to recover at some point, right? So at this point, it's probably going to reject off here. And then if it provides a buy signal, kind of similar to what happened right here, you know, rejection right here, buy signal right here. And then what happens from that point? It pushes up and tests this structure before bouncing back down, right? It does the same thing over and over again. So if it rejects off this point, say we get a sell signal, a buy signal somewhere above here, and then say if it closes above the structure, basically what happened right here, rejection, buy signal, it broke above structure and closed, and then it shot up to the next structure, right? That's kind of what I see happening here. We could probably see UK 100 reject off this point, buy signal, close and break above structure, and then go back up to test this structure before either pushing up higher or before, rejecting off this point or rejecting off this point. There's a bunch of different scenarios that can play out, but you guys got to keep in mind that today is Friday. So the market is going to be moving slow. My bias right here would be a buy because I don't think it's going to drop that far low. Let me see if I can go farther back. So right here, it's the same exact pattern. See this right here? It does the same thing. So right here, how I mentioned that, it came down and tested the structure, kind of exactly what I just mentioned. Came down, tested the structure. It shot up. It had a buy signal right here. So it had a buy signal indicating a momentum swing upwards, and it also broke structure right here. So when that happened, it ended up pushing up and touching this structure right there, right? Same situation over here. It's the same pattern that keeps repeating itself. If you guys have these indicators, you'll be able to identify these things. Like you can see that I drew these zones like today, like I literally just drew those zones right now for you guys. And you can see that these same zones were tested back in December, right? So you can see the pattern just repeats itself. From December right here, it rejects off this structure. Buy signal is provided right here. And then it breaks structure, up here. And then it just retraces a little bit before it ends up shooting all the way up here, right? So it's the same thing that's going to happen again currently. I think this is exactly what's going to happen here. And the same pattern just repeats itself, right? Rejection, buy signal, push up to the next structure. Rejection right here, buy signal, pushes way up here. And it just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. So that's why if you guys have my system, this works for everything. It's not just Forex. It works for indices, works for gold, works for, whatever you guys want to trade, really, stocks, commodities, anything. So that's pretty much what I see happening here for UK 100. After analyzing this, we can go on the 30-minute, and I'll see if there's any scalps for UK 100 actually that you could have, possibly taken. So let me go over here to the 30-minute. We'll go to the UK 100 real quick over here. And then, wow, okay, so it looks like there's some very, very nice scalps right here. So if you were scalping this on the 30-minute, like I mentioned previously, looks like there's a ton of entries here that you could have made a ton of money off. So this is why I'm kind of contemplating to stay up during London session so I can trade with you guys here, because it seems like there's a ton of opportunity here. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about all the profits that I could be making trading this with you guys. And this is the cool thing about K2, guys. Like for me, I never traded UK 100, right? We had members from London, trade UK 100. Like, hey, Shawn, do you think your system works with UK 100? And I was like, I don't know, I've never traded before. So I looked at it and I was like, dude, this actually works really, really good. And you can make a ton of profits just trading whatever you guys like to trade. I've been trading for like 10 years, guys. So if you guys have an asset that you guys like to trade, I can probably figure out strategies that work really well with whatever you like to trade, or you can make a ton of profit. So like, for example, here, we did look at this before. I know we did look at this a couple days ago. We looked at how accurate it was and everyone was like super shocked. So like, for example, right here, let me see if there's any entries that it's kind of messy, but just looking at these right here. So for example, right here, we have a rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure right here, right? Looking at UK 100, rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure right there. At this point, we would take our short position right here. And then if we let it run, full TP, right? Full TP, easy money. Again, right here, we have, let's see, this one right here. It's another entry. We have the same thing, rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure, another short position right here. And you guys already know the outcome, full TP. So that you could have stacked those two wins right there, full TPs. And then, let's see, nothing else right there. That's pretty much it. If we just move forward over here. And guys, like if you guys have been with K2 for a while, I'm here to help you guys out. I'm literally never hiding the ball for you guys. I'm just helping you guys out with like whatever you guys need help with. So again, right here, for example, we have this right here. Let me see what happened over here. Sorry, I got a message. I want to see what's going on real quick. These people. Nice. Kamali over here. He's basically recovering his account. He's on my way up. Consistency is my aim. Once I'm funded, these lot sizes are going way up. So he had just traded this week with us, straight profit right there. Cheryl over here, if I can do it, anyone here can do it. Get a plan, stick to it. Cheryl over here, congrats. You passed your next FTMO. So I think she has 200K FTMOs now. So congrats, everybody. Wow, look at Uncle over here too. He passed as well. So everyone here in K2 is passing FTMO, just trading my strategy. It's super easy. Look at Cheryl over here. Wow, look at her wins. Applying my strategy. Super simple. Thank you, Shawn. Third one down. Couldn't have done it without you. Nice. So she has 300K actually. She has 3 100K accounts. So she's good to go. She made 14K in 2 weeks. LOL. Nice, nice. Congrats, Cheryl. I'm going to put this in our team profits so that we can, keep track of everything. I'm gonna delete this little scammer over here. Yeah, dude, it's nice profits for everyone here in K2. So if you guys are not in K2 and you guys want to sign up, you guys, your deadline's coming up soon. So if you don't sign up by today or by the next couple of days, we're definitely going to close that. Oh, nice, Jacob. I just saw your message. Thanks for that. So, Life Plus. So you're Life Plus, Jacob. Jacob said, hey, Shawn, just want to thank you for your hard work. I was sitting in a live session when you discovered the new K2 strategy with other members. Then I was sitting on other live sessions, mentoring sessions, testing TradingView. Here's my results on my FTMO. Nice. So he locked in 172. He said, yeah, joining K2 around the end of November is the best thing I ever done last year. Thank you, Shawn. Yeah, definitely. No problem, Life Plus. I'm glad to have you in the chat. You've been here for a while. I'm glad you're locking in some like solid profits every day, just like everyone else here. Let me check Flynn. Flynn sent me another message. So Flynn locked in about 461 on Euro and ZD, met all the rules. Definitely awesome. So you guys can see here that everyone in K2 is profiting. I'm not just showing you guys some strategy that I think works. This is a strategy that everyone thinks works. So I'll show you another example here. We have rejection off the pivot and off the structure. Short position right here. I think this might be too tight, but we'll run it through and see. See, it's kind of tight because we usually have at least 200 or 300 TP stop loss, but full TP again right there. Even with a small stop loss, tight stop loss, it still went to full TP right there. So that's a win right there. There's actually another entry right next to it right there. So that would have hit full TP as well. And then another one right here. So 3 back-to-back full TPs plus a 3 over here. That's a ton of TPs just back-to-back-to-back. So you can't wonder, it looks good. It's probably something I'm gonna start trading. There was something that I think, I forgot, someone mentioned to me the Asia index too. I've never looked at the China index, but I was looking at it. It works perfectly fine on here too. I forgot, there was another member, he's from Singapore, I think. He mentioned this to me as well. And he was like, hey, Shawn, have you tried the Chinese index? And I was like, I've never even heard of that. So I looked at it here and you could use a strategy on everything. Like he showed me this entry this week. This is on the 26th, about 3 days ago. He showed me this and I was like, wow, that's a huge profit right there that you could have made because it rejected off. So for example, right here, I'm gonna move this over. It rejected off this point right here. So off the pivot and then off the structure. So he, obviously he would have taken a short position right there. Rejection off it. He would have taken a short position right here. And then for like, I guess, 1,300 pips, straight to full TP, no drawdown. So that's pretty crazy that hit like that. But on top of that, so like I mentioned, you should stack positions. Again, right here, right next to it, there was one entry right there, and then there's another entry right next to it, literally the following candle. So once that dropped and this hit full TP, you could have entered a second position right next to it, right there. And then it would have hit full TP again. So like this strategy is crazy that it's super accurate, not just with normal indices, US indices that I trade, US 30, it works on literally everything. So it doesn't matter where you're located. If you're located in the US, located in China, located in Europe, located anywhere, you can apply this strategy. And obviously it works pretty well. So looking at that right there, let me see if there's anything else before. One of my friends invited me to Clubhouse. I don't know if you guys use Clubhouse. He was mentioning that I should probably just go on there and then just have my live sessions, just talk, and people would join or use you from that point. So let me see if there's anything else before I continue on. Yeah, so Solange, hopefully that answers your question. Sam mentioned also, if you guys see the K2 ad on your Facebook stream, please share with your friends in public if you can. Yeah, definitely. If you guys can help grow K2, that'll be better for us, because obviously the more people we have in K2 and they have like these like random assets that I've never heard of or never traded, like the Chinese index, we can have more entries, like, because the more pairs that we have and we find that the strategy works really well on, the more options we have when we obviously trade. Because I have all of the indexes right here that I know of personally: the Aussie index, China index, Spain index, French index, German DAX, Japanese index, NASDAQ, S&P, UK 100, UK, US 30. And the strategy works perfectly fine with all of them. So it's been pretty good. Let's see if there's anything else here before we continue on. Flynn said this is like a scavenger hunt for cash. Exactly. Natasha, thank you. No problem. Andrea said, are we taking the US 30 open today? No, Andrea, we usually don't trade on Friday. So we're not going to take the open today, which would have been, it would have been this buy signal right here. So we generally don't trade US 30 on Fridays. For one, because the market closes a little early. Well, I mean, obviously it closes at the swap time. So it's kind of hard to hold a position for a while. And also on top of that, there's always like weird market movements on Friday. So that's why I usually don't call them. But yeah, if you wanted to take the entry, it'd be this one right here, this buy entry. I drew the structure right there so you guys can see, where the rejection point is. But if you wanted to take this entry right here, this is what it would be. So if you guys want to take it, you guys are more than welcome. Here are the parameters. I'll leave it here for a few seconds, but I'm not going to call it as an official trade, and I'm not going to take it myself. So it's a very risky trade. I don't recommend taking it, but if you want to, you can. I'll just leave it there for a few seconds before I continue on. Matej said he will not entry, but will tell us when we can. Yeah, definitely. Kimmy said, oh man, the premium members had a live trade with you last night. I missed it. Snap, I'll catch the next one. Yeah, no, exactly, Kimmy. Well, it wasn't a live trade. It was that they were just applying the strategy themselves and then they spotted it. So like all last night, so let me check all the profits over here real quick. Yeah, so all these profits last night, like Cheryl, she took these on her own. She was just taking her own trades. And then Josh over here, he took these on his own too. Like literally everybody here took these on their own, but we were just discussing in the chat those trades. So if you looked at our premium chat last night, there was a bunch of like talk here where people are just calling trades. Like Flynn kept looking at these trades right here, NZDJPY. Henry was looking at GBP, NZD. Like everyone just shares their trades here. Even like CT over here, he took this he hit full TP right here, NZDJPY, and then he had a second one right here as well. So if you guys are in the premium, everyone here shares their trades. It's not like you're on your own. Like literally you're here and you're part of the community, you're part of the family, and we all share trades with you guys so that you guys can all make money with us. Like right here, CT, he hit US 30 right there, full TP. He hit NASDAQ full TP, and then he hit S&P full TP as well. So if you guys join the premium, you guys have access to all of this with everyone else in K2. And obviously my profits last night, I locked in about 600 on my first account, about 600 on the other, and then another on my third, because I have 3 FTMO accounts. So that's why I have 3 different profits every time I share. But yeah, I mean, there's trades being called all the time. Let me see if there's anything else here to look at before we continue on. Flynn said, I was looking at gold during Asia session and it looked like garbage. Time to move to Europe. Exactly, Flynn. I think Asia session in general is kind of a risky trade for like any pair really, because the volatility is kind of low. So John's asking, is US 30 a sell? It's a buy for us. So we have this right here. I give you guys the parameters right there to take this. So I would take it for a buy, not a sell. See if there's anything else here. Matej said, can you fast tell us what we teach? I mean, you can learn all my strategies, Matej. There's not like there's anything specific that you would learn in the course. Obviously, I mean, if you want to learn one strategy, you can learn one strategy. If you want to learn the other strategy, you can learn that. You're not required to have any linear view of it. So I'm not sure what you're trying to ask there. Like, for example, this is what the course looks like. We have the intro, all the basics. We have the trading view tools and functions, like exactly what I use, like the very bare foundations here, you know, trend line, support and resistance. And then down here, you have like my actual strategies, like my intraday strategy, my momentum pullback strategy, my scalping strategies. The new scalping strategy isn't on here yet, but you guys can see from all the previous live sessions where I've explained, because obviously you need the K2 indicators to apply these, and all the strategies are pretty much here. And if you want to go back and look at all the webinars, they're all posted here. And if you want to look at the results for everyone, they're posted here. And if you want to look at, you know, our trade results right here, I have everything documented. So if you want to go back and see every trade I've taken, literally every trade here is listed. It's listed, you know, by the pair, by the day, by the time. If you want to go back and look at every single trade, I have everything listed here, you know, full TP, stop loss, fully transparent. I show you guys everything. So that's about it. I don't know if you could be more specific with your question, Matej. I don't know what you were asking about. You were asking me if let me go over your question again. Matej said, can you fast tell us what we teach? I mean, I would be the one teaching you. I don't know if you would be teaching me. I mean, you could teach me something, but I'm not sure what you meant by that. But yeah, if you want it to be more specific, I can answer your question more in detail. Let's see if there's anything else over here before we continue on real quick. Hey, what's up, David? How's it going, bro? Just left an appointment. D-Rez in the chat. See what else we got over here. Nice. Subscribe, London. Big up. Yeah, definitely, bro. Glad to have you here, bro. Peter said, by the way, how is your $45 pizza? Man, that pizza's freaking expensive. I was talking to Dejan yesterday on the live. I mean, the pizza was good, but dude, I paid so much for that pizza. Usually it's like $20 for a pizza, but they upped the price for like COVID and stuff. You know, delivery is like $20 now. Super expensive, but it was worth it. Jazz said, how many pips works do you go each way for gold scalps? So Jazz, I'm not sure yet. I don't trade gold, so I don't know exactly, you know, what I would personally do. I would have to go back test it. You know, the same back test that we've done for every other asset that we trade. So like for me, if I'm going to go back and trade gold right here, I'd have to go and back test to see, you know, whatever the sweet spot is. Obviously the only pair I trade is like US 30. So like if I look at this here, there's an entry here. Looks like sweet spot might be between 300 and 500 pips. Because generally I like to push it back to like where the pivots are. Right here, the highest pivot is about 350. So it looks like it'd be about like 300, 500 pips would be the sweet spot. Because if you look at all the entries here, there's a whole bunch of wins here, right? If you want to stack these up, you can literally take all of these here. So like right here, for example, it's about 300. So you could probably do 300 sweet spot to be quick, right? You do 300, you get out right there, full TP. Again, right here, rejection off that. Another 300 full TP. Another rejection off that. 300 full TP. There's like, if you do 300, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 wins right there. 7 wins for 300 pips. Just quick scalps. You know, you're not trying to go for these big moves. So 300 times 7, you still lock in 2,100 pips. So I think that might be it. See what else we got over here. City said, I was asking because there are more scalp opportunities before that when you first, yeah, exactly, City. So yeah, like back to what I mentioned earlier. If you have one loss, then you would just take a break from it. Matej is asking, Matej, you have a lot of questions that there's no specific answer. Matej is asking, how fast does your students learn from you? I mean, there's some people that learn within a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, a few months, a few years. I mean, there's no specific answer to that, Matej. You know, I don't know how fast you learn. I don't know what your ability of trading. Some people join K2 and they've been trading for years, so they can learn my strategy within a few minutes. Some people are brand new. They take a couple days, couple weeks, couple months. I have no idea like how to answer your question, Matej. You know, depending on what you're looking for. Matej is asking, how much is minimum deposit for FTMO? There's no deposit for FTMO, Matej. Maybe you should do like a little bit of some research, Matej, first. Like if you want to ask those, like if you want to find that out, just go on the website, ftmo.com. There's no deposit because you pay a challenge fee. There's no, like you're not trading your money. It's not a broker. It's a funding company. So just keep that in mind, Matej. But a lot of your questions are just, there's no real answer to your question. Like you were asking, what can you learn? I mean, literally you can learn anything from me. And then you're asking how fast do people learn? It really depends on the person. And then for FTMO, there's no deposit because it's not a broker. All right. So City said if someone is stacking, they would have multiple losses. I'm wondering how to determine avoid multiple losses. So City, it would really depend on your situation, right? So like, for example, here, I'm not going to be trading on the 30-minute. So I was just showing you guys examples on here because some people like to trade on the 30-minute. I trade on the 10-minute. So if I lose the first trade, it's going to be within the first couple minutes, right? So if I lose that first trade, I want to be stacking more trades on top of it. So, I mean, there's ways to like look at the market, City. So like, obviously for me, I'm able to identify these things a lot quicker than you or than other people because I've been trading for so long. So obviously if you're not like experienced with trading, you're not going to be stacking trades. It doesn't matter if like you want to, you probably wouldn't be, because in reality, City, you think about it, if you're looking at these trades here, you're not going to be like you don't trade like me, right? You guys have seen how I trade. I see a trade right here and I'm like, all right, sell. I just enter a sell. I don't even say anything. I just sell. And I'm like, all right, sell. I just like enter trades like back to back to back, right? Because I know what I'm doing. For you, City, you obviously want to be doing that, right? You're going to be sweating. You're going to be like, oh, should I take this? Should I not? So I don't think stacking should really be an issue for you because in my opinion, I don't think you'd even be stacking to begin with. I'm just telling you guys, what's possible because I'm able to like see these things in the market. I just look at patterns here. I'm like, all right, cool. I see this nice downtrend, right? It looks like it's coming down pretty strong. I see these rejections off this structure. So I'm like, all right, there's a sell right there. I'm going to just put a sell there. And then if I see another one, I'm like, this looks really nice, right? Because you just look at it as it moves. It's trending down pretty heavy. You have the rejections off the same pivot right here. It looks like a strong area of rejection. So we see that right there. I'm like, all right, I'll enter another sell at that point. And I don't think about it. I just take the trades and then I hit my TPs. So obviously there's no like concrete answer for you, City. You kind of have to know, and this is why I don't like teaching scalping to like new traders because they'll get questions like how you mentioned, what should I do in this situation? It all comes with like skill and intuition. Cause if you know what you're looking at, you'll know that it's going to be coming down. Like I could literally just fast forward this. And if I see any entries, I could even just call them out real quick. So I'll just do this real quick. I'll see if we see anything here. So like for that right there, I probably wouldn't take that trade. Wouldn't have taken that trade right here. I'd probably take a short. And then, yeah, over here, I'd actually stack these right here. Because like I mentioned, I'm looking for certain things. I see a strong downtrend right here. I see the structure that's being tested. It's like trying to break above it, but it's failing to. So we have that entry right here where I take this one. I see this rejection off the same structure. I would stack on another position right there. And the thing with me is I trade something that I know how to trade, right? I've been trading US 30 for a while now, so I know exactly how it moves. I see another rejection off that point. I stack a third position. I see a fourth position right there. I stack another one. That's 4. And I max myself out at 5. So that's 4 right there. And what happens? They all hit full TP, right? So, I mean, if you guys have been sitting in on the sessions, you guys know how I trade. I don't even think about anything. If I see a position, I'll just enter it. And then if it looks like a good position or if it looks like it's moving pretty nice, I just stack on top of it. So City, I think you just need to practice and then you'll figure out, like you'll start to see these patterns. Like the more and more you practice, the more and more you'll train your eye to see these things. Like you'll see when it retests structure, right? Because when you have these zones up, it's going to give you a picture, like basically like a storyline of what's happening. Like for example, right here, you see how it keeps testing the structure. It means it's a strong resistance. So at that point, you can probably enter another short. And you can see that it keeps testing these resistances. As it comes down, it comes up and it tests this resistance and it tests the pivot. If it does that, it's going to indicate that, it's probably a strong resistance. So when you keep seeing these moves right here, you just keep stacking. But like I mentioned, this is why like scalping isn't for the beginners. It's more for the advanced K2 members. So let me continue on over here and see if there's anything else. Live Plus said I scalped GJ today, works perfectly nice. Yeah, I think GJ is one of the good ones. You have to find a pair that moves very quickly, like something that's very volatile. It works more accurately for those versus like something that moves slow, like USD CHF. Flint said got to trade gold during London and New York session. Yeah, definitely. Patricia said, so Shawn, what do you think the sweet spot should be for the 30-minute on gold 1500? Yeah, so on gold on the let me go back to gold on the 30-minute. I think gold on the 30-minute, I think 1500 is way too high. That's probably if you're going for an intraday move, Patricia. I think for gold, let me see. The way that I do it is I like to measure entry from the pivot. So like, for example, right here, this would be about 300 to 500 pips. Let me check over here. You kind of have to, you just have to go and back test it to average out, you know, what the entries look like, where they usually hit. Like for me, I figured out the sweet spot for US 30 because I back tested that like 10 years. You know, it took me like weeks to back test it. But after doing all that back testing, I found the sweet spot because I saw that like that number would always hit, and it'd be wide enough for me not to get stopped out too early. So like looking at this here, you can see it's about 400. So you can see it kind of increases a bit, right? It goes from 300 to 400. And then we have another entry right here. It's about 400 again. So you can see 300, 400, 500 is going to be the sweet spot. Maybe 400 might be your sweet spot for scalping gold on the 30-minute. Let me see if there's another one down here. You can see right here it goes a little wider, right? It goes up to like 600. So from that point, you just average it out. And it might be about 500. I think 500 might be the sweet spot. But then when you run into issues, then that's when you'll make adjustments to like what the sweet spot is. You know, it'll start at 500 and then you can increase it or decrease it depending on the data that you pull from your back test. So let me see if there's anything else here. Hey, Less. John said US 30. Yeah, US 30 is moving crazy, guys. This is why I wouldn't have wanted to take it, because it's just I think it's gonna go sideways for a bit. And then it's 7 o'clock right now, right? So once it gets closer to like 9 or 10, then we'll probably see a spike up or a spike down. Hopefully a spike up for you guys, whoever took this trade. But we'll definitely see that at that point. See, market opened right here. Yeah, I think so. If you guys understand how like US 30 works, generally it has two impulses. So the market opened right here at 630 and it's pushing up right now, right? So it's having an impulse up. So if it reaches like TP1 right here at 750, I would move your stop loss and profit, because as we get closer to midway through market around 10:30, around this point, it usually has an impulse. It'll either impulse down slightly and then continue up, or it'll do a hard reversal from this point. It happens every day. There's always like a 2 to 3 point impulse for US 30. So keep in mind if you guys are taking that trade. Currently in profit, so it's good. See, Matej said, how can I find UK 100 on Metatrader? It's called UK 100, Matej. Or it depends on your broker. If your broker uses FTSE, it might be FTSE 100, or if it's UK 100. Those are the two main things, FTSE and UK 100. I don't know what else would it be on there. Forbes said your pivot points generate in real time. Like as soon as the candle closes, it'll show up as a pivot. Yeah, exactly, Forbes. So if I go back over here, if I go back to gold and I just replay it, you'll see that the pivot points are dynamic. It moves with price. So if I go back and just replay from like, I don't know, over here, you can see that the pivots are here, right? And as price moves, the pivots move as well. See how the pivots, they adjust? So as price moves, the pivots adjust with it, so that you're able to know real time, you know, what the rejection points are. So if you tie them together, you know, the double rejection, like for example, right here, double rejection, you probably anticipate it to drop from that point. And then from here, it comes back up, comes back down, break and retest, and then it just keeps moving. So it moves with price. Forbes, hopefully that answers your question. Let me see if there's anything else here. Flint said, congrats, Cheryl. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Mary, how's it going? Flint said, even if we don't trade today, that's okay. It's good to observe the market. We're not addicts. We have self-control. Yeah, it's easier said than done. Skillstraight said, you pronounced my name right on your first try. K² in chat. Oh, nice, bro. Definitely. Flint said, what's Clubhouse? Is it like Club Penguin for Forex traders? No, Flint, it's kind of weird. It's like an audio room where you have a room and random people could hop in. So like a lot of my friends that are in business, they were like, yeah, you should just like go on Clubhouse and then just talk, you know, have my live stream, basically just talk. And then if they were interested, they can join in and learn about, you know, my trading stuff. So let's see, Flynn said at K2, we want everyone to win. There's enough profits for all of us. Yeah, exactly. Eric said, had to step away, scalp US 30 on the way back up for 1.2K profit. Nice, Eric. Congrats, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, Eric actually just signed it back up with us. Yeah, a couple days ago, right? And then you literally killed it. You pretty much covered your subscription for like the whole year. Let's see if there's anything else here. John said Shawn paid $50 for pizza. Exactly, right? Way too expensive. Let's see if there's anything else here before we continue. Short Scene said, look at CHF JPY. I think it's dropping from good resistance. So Short Scene wants me to take a look at CHF JPY. Right here. So CHF JPY, I'll just go ahead and redraw these structures for you guys so we can go from a clean chart. So we have a clean chart right here. Zoom out from this point, turn on the K2SRs. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw my zones for you guys here. So we got this right there. That right there. That right there. Good with this. Let me go ahead and get this upper zone. We don't have an upper zone there on the 4 hour. So we'll go on the 8 hour, nothing there. Go on the daily. Yeah, it looks like it's hitting off that daily resistance right there. Short scene looks like a good identification for that. Go back on the 4 hour. Hide this off right there. Or actually, I don't know. It's kind of weird because when I marked it up on the daily, it looked like it was in that structure. I don't see it here on the chart anymore. I mean, it does that sometimes if price is just super off. So looking at this right here, I mean, CHF JPY is a tricky pair to trade already as is because they're both safe haven currencies, right? The Swiss franc is a safe haven currency and the JPY is a safe haven currency as well. So what I would do is I would look at the index right here. It looks like the JPY is actually weaker than the Swiss franc. Swiss franc's just going sideways. The JPY is weak, but it looks like it's recovering back up. So with that said, I mean, it's too tricky of a pair for me to really want to trade because looking at this here, it looks like the JPY is coming back up while the Swiss franc is going down. So if that happens, then this will continue to drop from there. But if this recovers and continues back up from here, while this continues to drop, then this would actually swing right back up. So it's not something that I personally would want to trade. City, I think, Short Scene. I got your names wrong. Short Scene. So like for this right here, I don't know if I'd really want to take this because they're both iffy, right? Because the Swiss franc's going sideways, but who knows how long it'll go sideways for, right? This can easily shoot up or it can shoot down. The reason why there's a lot of strength going on with these right here is because of the COVID news. Obviously we mentioned over here that the COVID vaccine is less effective than people thought. So with that said, both of the safe haven currencies should be gaining in strength, the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen. So if that happens, this might end up just going sideways. And then until one of these gains in strength or weakens, then it'll spike either up or spike down. I wouldn't necessarily trade this based off technical analysis right now because you can see this huge move right here. This is a move based on the news this morning. So the COVID news came out and then this shot up right here. Generally it just goes sideways, right? It doesn't usually push up like that. Like right here in December when we had COVID news, it pushed up and then it came back down and then it just goes sideways for a long time until something pushes it in one direction. So that now that it's pushed up right here, it's really iffy whether it could, let me see. So we do have the rejection here. So this is like what I would look at. If you wanted to take a sell here, Short Scene, what you could do is you can wait for this rejection. You can wait for the sell signal like this right here, and then you can take the trade. I wouldn't just take a short because you think it's going to come down. I would wait for that confirmation. So right here we have the rejection, and then we have a sell signal right here, right? If you already see this rejection, sell signal, break in structure, then you can take that short position and then write it down here. I wouldn't necessarily just take the sell just because it's rejecting off here. Because the thing with this right here is that we have a rejection from this point, we have the buy signal right here. And then as soon as it broke structure, it ended up going very high from this point. So what could happen here is this can easily come down, test this lower structure, and then shoot back up to continue this bullish move. Vice versa, if we get a rejection right here and a sell signal, then this could probably come down from that point. So it's just too risky for me to want to take this trade or even advise you to take this trade. And I would just wait for that extra confirmation. You'll wait for the confirmation whether it rejects off this structure right here and comes back up. So if this happens, it rejects off here, comes back up, and then price closes up above here, then you can take that long position. Vice versa, if price rejects off this point, we get that sell signal, and then it closes below here, then you can take that short position. So if you get what I mean, I would wait for it to finish before and confirm before you actually take the trade. So let's see if there's anything else here before we continue on. Let's see. Varun said, what's the entry for US 30? So Varun, if you want to take that, entry's right there at 30,436. But like I mentioned, I don't recommend taking it. This is just the entry if you wanted to, but I don't recommend taking it because the market is it's just moving weird this morning. We had this huge spike on the open, and then it's Friday. So you don't want to be caught in this trade over the weekend. Mehul said, what R&R do you typically aim for each trade? We trade 1-to-1. Todd said test. Rich said I entered it. Varun said, hey, Shawn, still up for that mentoring session after this live session? Yeah, Varun, we can have that mentoring session right after. This session's probably not going to run for too long because I don't think many people are trading anyways. I'm just here to answer questions for you guys and possibly call some scalps if I see anything, but I don't really see anything right now, especially with how the market's moving. In the market right here, we want to trade when the market's moving smoothly. Like right here, it's moving smooth up and down. Right now, the market's just going sideways. For one, because it's Friday, and for two, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. So a lot of people are just going back and forth. Like, going to CNBC over here, there's they keep having breaking news, like with regards to this. I think mostly it's based because of the new vaccine or the vaccine news where it's not as strong. And then also because you guys know what's going on with the stock market, right? With like GameStop and like Wall Street bets and all that stuff. There's just craziness in the market causing uncertainty. So I would just sit out the market today. I'm personally not even trading. So if I'm not trading, that should mean something to you guys who want to trade on a Friday. Let's see. John said US 30 test. What do you mean, John? I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. You said US 30 test, a question mark, but I don't know what you mean by test. I don't know if it's testing. Do you mean it's testing the support? Because that could be it. I don't know if you meant it's pushing up, tested this resistance, then came down, tested support, and then shoot back up. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with US 30 because like I mentioned, right, like this is a crazy, like if you guys look at this here, guys, this is a crazy range from this point. So from London open up until now, it's been ranging within like 3,000 pips. Basically, when US 30 is moving normally, when it pushes 1,000 pips, it usually continues in that direction, right? So like, for example, here, if you see this draw from this point, or see how you have a buy, if you entered a buy here and then it comes down 1,000 pips, it usually continues down further, right? So 1,000 pips right there, it drops all the way down here. The thing with price right now is, you have this shoot up right here, it goes up 1,000 pips, then it goes down 1,000 pips, and then it goes up 1,000 pips. It literally goes, it's just going back and forth. US 30 is just whipsawing. When it's moving smoothly, when it pushes 1,000 pips, it usually continues in that direction. So like, for example, here, you have this coming down, it goes 1,000 pips, and then what happens from that point? It keeps going down further. That's when market's moving smooth and how it's supposed to move. Vice versa, if price goes the opposite direction, then it comes back down. It's supposed to move in waves, right? But right now it's kind of just going back and forth. So that's why I'd stay away from US 30 right now, or just the market in general. Let's see if there's anything else here. Solange said that 10-year trading experience hit different. Exactly. Like, guys, I've been trading for a long time, and I'm on the charts every single day. Even if I'm not trading, like today, this morning, I'm not trading, but I'm on the charts with you guys. I'm reinforcing my knowledge every single day. So like every time I see something new, it's something that I can interpret, you know, moving forward with my trades. David said Clubhouse live calls, trading calls, premium members. Yeah, exactly, Dave. We'll probably do that. We'll have a Clubhouse call and we'll just hang out, all the premium members. Yeah, Cameron said, I really don't like Clubhouse, especially not for something like this. Zoom is no, exactly. So Cameron, Clubhouse isn't meant for actually like teaching. It's meant for just finding new people that are interested in it. Because like obviously you can't see my charts on Clubhouse, so they're just gonna hear me talking. If they like what they hear, they can, you know, the link will be there for the YouTube channel, and then they can join the YouTube and then join in with you guys here. It's not necessarily a platform where I plan on like really teaching on. It's more so just to like find new people that are interested. Andrea said, off to watch the live posted since last Friday. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Shawn, thanks for all that you do. Can't wait to make money with the K2 fam next week. Definitely, Andrea. Glad to have you back. I know you were gone for a bit, and I'm glad you're back to K2. You're here to make some more profit, because I think you locked in some profit yesterday as well. It's been pretty good for the most part. Hey, Josh, I just saw your message. Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. See if there's anything else here. Nice. Cheryl locked in some more profit this morning. So Cheryl scalped some more. She said, I hope everyone's buys from those low today. Look at US 30, how many times it hit that low. So she scalped it right there. Damn, look how much she made this morning. She was scalping while we were on this live session. She scalped literally all the indices. She scalped UK 100, German DAX, US 30, and the S&P 500. Nice work, Cheryl. I'm gonna put that over here in our saved messages here. Rami over here. Wow, nice. So Rami, he took a little he bought off the live call today, put an early put out, scared of Fridays. Yeah, exactly, Rami. A good decision on that. Rami locked in some profit off that as well, just sitting on this this live session with us this morning. Let's see. Sisuk said, wait, is there a room where everyone's talking all at once? Because that's awesome when it happens on Zoom. Exactly, Sisuk. Yeah, definitely. Siltrate said, wow, what a wick. Ouch. Yeah, exactly. So this is like crazy wick right here, right? So the this is what I'm talking about the market being manipulated right now. This is a huge wick. Let me see. That wick was like 600 pips in like 1 second. It's not something that I would want to risk, because if you're scalping and we're scalping 500 pips, that could be pretty dangerous. Like for right here, if you saw that scalp and then you wanted to take a buy right there, you probably would have gotten screwed if it came back down, because this probably would have been the scalp at that point. Let me see what are the questions here. ComCon said, I thought you were closing to new people. Wouldn't Clubhouse mean new members? Not exactly. I mean, it'd be new members to the YouTube channel, but not necessarily to sign up. ComCon, you know, like we can still grow K2 without having any signups. They would just join and then they wouldn't be able to sign up, but they'd be able to sit in on, you know, live sessions when I do have them. Because I mentioned that I'm not taking the live sessions off completely. I'm having like, I'll probably have a live session with you guys like once a week. And then I'll have live sessions daily with the premium members, and then it'll just get posted to the YouTube later, so you guys can watch it after if you guys wanted to. So people can still learn from K2. It's just they're not going to be able to sign up for the live sessions and stuff. Hey, Vish, good morning. How's it going, bro? Looks like you made it here a little late, bro. You're here like 2 hours after we started. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions here? Because I think we're pretty much going to wrap this up early today, because I have another live session after with Varun. So if you guys want to sit in on that session with Varun, I mean, we can do that. Unless, let me message Varun and see if he always wants to have his one-on-one session here. Let me see if I can find Varun real quick. All right, so let me just message Varun real quick. He because I have a mentoring session with Varun. I want to see if he wants to just hop on here or do a separate session. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna add Varun to this this, and I'll just answer his questions on here. So let me get the, because this is easier. I don't have to like log off and then log back on. Since you guys are already on here, you guys can just sit in and listen on our session. All right, so Bruno's about to come on right now. I'm just waiting for him to show up, and then I'm going to have a mentoring session with him. So I'm probably not going to be able to answer questions from you guys until we're done. He's going to hop on, and then I'll answer his questions. And then if I have more time after, we can continue. Flynn said, when the pivots are tight like that, it's a good sign not to trade. Yeah, exactly, Flynn. So that might be another requirement that I put in, because for the new strategy, I haven't really put in the requirements for stuff like this, you know, when not to trade. Like obviously for me, and even for you, Flynn, like, you know, for us, we're able to see this, like when this starts to consolidate, we'll know not to take any scalps, right? Obviously. But it might not be as obvious for other people. So that's something that I'm probably going to add on to it. Vishen says, sorry, Shawn, just came on the live. What's the Clubhouse thing? Clubhouse is just like, it's an audio, it's like a hangout thing where people just talk. It's an audio thing. So they were saying that we should probably have that where I just, you know, place the audio from when I have my live sessions so that people can listen in. If they want to like join the YouTube channel, then they can join in. But I don't know, it's something that it's more of a fun thing. It's not really a serious thing that we're really going to be using. Vishu said, yeah, Shawn, I just got back home. It's midnight here in Singapore. Oh yeah, I forgot you're on total opposite time zone over there in Singapore. Let's see if there's anything else here. All right, cool. So I'm just waiting for Varun to show up into this room because we're supposed to have a live mentoring session with him, but we're just gonna have it on here so that I don't have to log off, and then so that you guys can sit in if you guys want to. But yeah, let me go ahead and answer those questions for him real quick once he logs in, and then we'll see what goes on from here. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I could look at anything before we start the mentoring session. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be more focused on that session for Varun. Short Scene said, what is the new sign-up system you're talking about? And is there a sign-up for K2? There's no new sign-up system, Short Scene. We're just going to be taking out the sign-ups so people can't sign up to K2. And so let me look at your question. What is the sign-up system you talking? Sorry, I'm trying to read your message. What is the sign-up system you're talking? And is there sign-up for K2 is going to stop? Yeah, so we're gonna stop signing people off on K2. Sorry, I'm reading the other message as well. Yeah, so Short Scene, we're gonna block off signups so people can't sign up to K2 because I'm too busy trading. I don't want to like have to, because whenever we have a new person sign up, I have to help them and, you know, answer all these questions and stuff, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. I like doing that. But right now, like, you know, there's a lot of profits here that I'm missing out on because I have to go and teach people. So I'm probably going to hold off on having new signups, and then I want to make sure that everyone else in K2 is good to go. And then as soon as I have more time, or, you know, as soon as everyone's good to go in K2, then I'll accept more people to sign up. But we're definitely going to limit signups because it's just I just don't have enough time, right? Because if you guys followed my mentoring sessions, I have mentoring sessions like literally every day, like all day. So I need to limit that before we continue on. So here's Varun. He made it into the room. Hey, Varun, can you hear me? Let's make sure you're good.
Yeah, man, I can hear you.
All right, cool. So Varun's here. All right, bro. So how's it going, man?
It's going great, brother.
Good to hear, bro. Did you make some good profit this week?
Yeah, no, not this week because I literally blowed my FTMO 2 times.
Yeah.
But I recovered it again, and I blowed it yesterday too, but I recovered it again today.
I saw your message. You said, and then you were like, how many times do I have to revive my account?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good because like now you have the strategy, so you're going to be good, you know, moving forward. I think next week's going to be really good because it's NFP. So I think we're definitely going to have a lot of opportunities because the volatility is going to be pretty high. I think probably like Tuesday through Thursday is gonna be really good. Like a lot of scalps that are gonna be available. So I'm gonna be ready for that. I'm gonna I'm actually gonna take an FTMO from my mom. I'm gonna do that, and then maybe get them some on that as well. So I just copy my trades to their accounts. So it should be good. But yeah, so which what do you want to go over today? I think you wanted to go over something, right?
Yeah, over the 10 minute scalp strategy
Okay, cool. For which asset?
for US 30 mainly.
Okay, perfect. Was there a trade that you were looking at that you were like confused about, or did you just want to go over it in general?
Yeah, like you said that when it rejects from level 1 or 2 and it rejects from a structure, okay? So the candle should be in a structure like if it rejects from the top of the structure and a pivot, should it reject off the structure completely or it can be in structure? Some of the candle can be in structure too.
It could be in the structure. So I'll show you an example here. So like for example, right here, we have, you can see that we have a rejection off this point. So let me just draw this right here. So we have a rejection off this point. You know, it's a rejection off the pivot, this third pivot level 3, the orange one. And then we have a rejection off the structure too. But you can see that the candle is still within the structure, right? What we're looking for is we're just looking for a rejection off it. So like right here, we have the rejection where it kind of shows that price, you know, for example here, price price was pushing up, and then as it pushed up, it rejected off both, you know, the pivot and the structure. So it's showing that it's pushing back this way, like a bumper. So it hits this point, and then it bumps off this point. So when we see that, that's when we decide to take the trade. We just want to see a rejection from one point. So we want to see price reject from the top, from both the structure and from the pivot. And then once you have that, you could enter your short position there. And then, you know, obviously our TP stop loss is only 500 pips. And if you were to let this run, you can see right there, you know, obviously it's full TP.
Yeah.
So you do get what I'm saying here?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
I'm not just getting the right confidence, to do that because I'm literally on the verge of my FTMO challenge.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
I can do it anytime. One wrong trade and I blew it.
Exactly. You have to be a little careful. So I think for you should probably use a smaller lot size, or, you know, enough to not hit your daily loss. Because usually, like when you have a hot streak, like for right here for US 30, you can see we have the rejection from the pivot and the structure here. If you were to take, you know, all of these, like I was mentioning earlier, like you take this trade here, then you just keep stacking these trades, like for more wins. You know, your wins will be stacking up. So like if you use enough lot size, like for me, I have the 100K account. So like for me, I could lose 5,000 a day, right? So I take a 15 lot for each trade. So basically for me, I have a 15 lot, which is like 1.5, uh, a lot size of 1.5 times um, times 500, which should be 750. So I have 750 profit or risk, you know, profit per trade. So like for example, if I have 5,000 where I can risk, divide that by 750, I can have 6 back-to-back losses. So if I'm stacking these trades right here, even if I have, you know, 1 or 2 losses, then I'll still be within the limits. So if I have 2 losses, you know, 750 times 2, I only lost 1,500. I still have money to lose because the total is 5,000 minus 1,500. I still could lose 3,500. So if I have a lose couple losses here, I'll probably make it back on the next trade. Because when you have a hot streak like this, like if you took 1, 2, 3, even 4 trades here, that'd be for me 4 times 750. I could have made 3,000 profit. So you know how it goes back and forth. If the win rate's high, then you can be fine if you decide to you know, stack it like that. But if since your account is smaller, how much do you have left to lose? Do you know?
Like I'm in 8.5K drawdown right now.
Okay. Yeah, so you should probably use like a quarter lot, like a quarter of that lot size to risk, so that you won't be too worried, right? I think you're worried because you're worried if you have like one bad trade, you're gonna lose. So make sure you take a small enough lot size so that you can have cushion for at least like maybe 5 losses. Your profit's not going to be very high, but you can keep stacking. So once you have those wins, then you can increase your lot size once you have more cushion. And then from there, you know, it'll be easier. But I know how you feel because I've been in that position before where I got close to hitting my loss, and then I bounced back like quickly after I had a hot streak.
Man, I just like I have almost looted. Like I was remaining with like $57, I think, on a 100K challenge account.
When you took it, yeah.
$57. I was remaining with $57, and then I just made around 1.5K today.
Nice. So you're back up then. You're back up pretty nice then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And now it's just consistency. I think now you should probably just take the when does your challenge expire? Do you have the date?
next week. I have the whole week.
Oh, then you're fine. Yeah, you should probably take a break today because Friday the market's gonna start moving, very unusual. So when it moves like that, you might get caught in like some spikes in price where it stops you out
Yeah,
when you obviously don't want it to.
yeah. So I was going to ask you that, like, I have the next whole week. So what lot size should I use on every trade? Like
Uh,
I have only 1 week.
yeah, 1 week. So let's see. What was the how much can you lose again? What's your max loss? Or yeah, how much?
1.5K.
1.5K. Okay, so you have 1,500. You should probably use because I use a standard. I when I take smaller trades, I take a standard lot. I think if you do, let's see, 50 times 500. I think you could use a 0.5 because or you could use something higher. So you could use between a 0.5 or maybe even a 0.7 times 500. Yeah, so like depending on like what you decide to trade, are you just going to trade US 30 or are you trading other stuff too?
No, I'm just trading US30.
Okay, so like these are your options here because you said 1.5, right? So you can lose about 1,500. If that's the case, maybe use here, let me just do the math here. 1,500 divided by 450. That's too risky. I think you should probably use maybe a 7.07 0.70 because times 500 that's going to be 350. So if you do 1,500 divided by 350, you'll have 4 chances before you lose the entire amount. So you have
Yeah,
about 4.2 trades, but the odds of you having 4 back-to-back losses are not very likely. You might have one. And what I recommend is, so when you take these trades, these scalps, when you have one loss, then just take a break. Like just take a break and then wait for it. Like I was mentioning earlier, let me see if we can find a bad trade here. Let's see. Okay, so maybe, yeah, so right here is like a bad trade. Right here we have, I think this might have hit stop loss. Actually, there's no trade there. Let me see if there's one. Actually, there's no bad trades here. I'm looking for a bad trade because usually when there's a bad trade, like if you lose one trade, you can just skip it and then wait for the next one. Let me see if there's one here. No, these are all, like if you look at all these trades here for US 30, they're all wins. Try and look for a trade that loses.
yeah. So one more question, like when the trend reverses, what should we do? Like there is a bullish candle and then a bearish candle, a big bullish and a big bearish. On
Uh,
28th, around 0.30. Yeah,
let's wait.
yeah,
Oh,
this one.
this one right here. Okay, so this one.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So this is an example right here that we can go over. So this is perfect. Perfect example right here. So for this right here, we have the rejection, or actually, I don't think this would be this is kind of like a risky entry because we want this to like really reject off the zone right here. Because you know how the wick has to reject off the zone? There's no zone rejection right here.
yeah,
See how the wick is below. So we wouldn't have taken this trade because you want the wick to be like off the zone. Like for example, right here, you see how it rejects off the zone and off the pivot?
yeah.
So this would be a good entry. This right here wouldn't be a good entry because there's no zone right here below it.
Okay.
So we would have skipped this one right here. Let me see if I could find one. Yeah, and this wouldn't be an entry either because there's no rejection off the pivot. You just want to make sure that it rejects off the pivot and the zone. Like for example, right here, this rejects off the zone and the pivot. So this is a good entry. This rejects off the zone and the pivot. So this is a good entry. Trying to find another one here. Yeah, like even these right here, these reject off the zone and the pivot. You just want to make sure that the wick is like rejecting off the zone. Cause like, yeah, going back to this example that you looked at over here, this is like too close. Like you can see that, I mean, if you were looking at it really close, then maybe you could see like a little zone right there. But you know, you're not going to be able to see that if you're just moving so fast
Yeah.
when it's closing. So if I saw this myself, I would just skip it. I wouldn't have taken this trade. I'm trying to find a good, like a valid trade, but one that loses, so that I can show you that, you know, what we would do in that case where we just take a break. Because usually, so like for example here, if you take a buy position, like there's no position here obviously, but if there's a position here that you take a buy and then it loses, then you just wait for it to shift down to this way, and then you just move to the sells. Because like it goes from buy, you take a lose here, it comes back over here to a sell, and then you take another sell over here, or you take another position for a sell, and then it ends up winning, right? Because generally, if that happens, like if you have a loss scalping one direction, that usually just means that price is going to reverse in the other direction. So let me see if I could find one here. I'm trying to find a bad trade, but all of these are winners. So like right here, these are trades as well, but I think these all win. Yeah, it's a win there because 50 pips. It's a win right there. Let me see if I could find one that's actually losing. No, that's a win too. I'm trying to find one that's not a winner. These are all wins right here too.
Like what about that? 20.30.
20 point. Where was it at, Bryn? Sorry.
Just a little right. Just a little right. Yeah,
Look.
the big bearish candle.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no wick on the top, so there's no entry. It has to wick off the pivot and off the structure, so there's no wick there. So you wouldn't have taken this trade
Okay.
because you need a wick rejection. So if you go back to like all the videos that all the live streams, I always put that like the main. I'll put the requirements right here. So this is the K2 snipe strategy. So first you want to confirm wick rejection off K2 pivot. Second, confirm wick rejection off K2 SR zone. And then lastly, confirm wick rejection off pivot, not touch body of candle. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like the main thing is you need a wick rejection. So like, for example, right here, we have the wick rejection off the candle, off the pivot and the structure. If you took this trade, that would have won right there. So for example, here on the one that you mentioned, there's no wick rejection. So there, and even if there was a wick rejection here, the green thing, the green pivot cuts into the candle. So it wouldn't confirm the third requirement.
Yeah.
So the main thing is just the wick rejection. I'm trying to find a bad trade here so that we can possibly.
And like what about 18.0 hours?
What was that? Sorry.
18.0 hours.
18 point.
Like the candle, like one pivot is cutting the candle, right?
Yes.
And one it is rejecting from another pivot, like level 2, and level 1 is cutting it. But should we take that trade?
Oh, this one right here, right? 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would take this trade because I would count the rejection. You want to count the rejection off the highest pivot. So like, for example, right here, we're ignoring this green pivot because it touched the yellow pivot, right?
Yeah.
So like this is kind of just irrelevant. So in this situation, like just to show you, for example, I would just hide the green pivot. There you go. So we're just ignoring that green pivot because we're counting this as the rejection. We want to count the highest rejection off it. And then the green one is just irrelevant because we're like the higher we go in levels of pivots, we ignore the lower ones. Like, so for example, over here, like this one, it hits the green one, but it doesn't hit the yellow. So we count the green one. For example, over here, like for this one too, right here, we have this one right here, this red candle. It touches the orange pivot, but the yellow pivot goes through it. But we're going to ignore the yellow one because we go to the higher one that's lower below it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for example, right here on the 1800 candle that you're looking at, we have the rejection off the yellow, but we ignore the green, but it fills the requirements because it rejects off this K2 pivot, which is requirement number 1. And then it rejects off the K2 SR zone, which is right here as well. And then from that point, obviously you take your short position and then it hits full TP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And one problem, like a major problem, is that on YouTube, there's like major latency of 25 seconds. Like your your stream is moving 25 seconds behind.
Yeah, that's just a YouTube problem. We try to fix it. I probably have to use a different program. It's because of the integration with Zoom that it's sort of delayed. It depends on
Yeah.
sometimes it's like it's on point, but sometimes it's off by like a few seconds. But I think this week because of the we're having a storm here where I'm located, the uh the internet connection in this area just hasn't been good. So it's been like a lot laggier than it normally is. Normally it's only like 5 seconds or like less, but I know this week it's been a lot worse. So yeah, there's no way we could really fix it at this point, but we're probably gonna. I'm looking at new programs to maybe make it a little quicker.
Yeah. Because like it's so hard because 25 seconds is a lot. Like sometimes one candle only takes or take profit or SL.
Yeah, exactly. It happens within a few seconds. That's why it's better for everyone to have the indicator. So because what happens is most of the members in K2, what they do is they have their charts open too, so they follow what I'm saying, and then when they see the entry, they're looking at their own screen. They're not looking at mine, and then they catch the trade. Like for example, right here, if I'm like counting down, because sometimes I count down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this trade in 60 seconds or 50 seconds. At that point, people will open their own chart and then they'll look and they'll say, okay, I see what Shawn's looking at. And then they wait for their candle to close on their end. And as soon as it closes, they just hit like a market sell and then they enter the trade right away, like the same
Yeah.
way I do it.
I did the same thing, but like sometimes a candle retraces in that 25 seconds, and
Yeah.
I'm like confused. Like, should I enter or not?
Yeah, exactly. No, if the requirements are met, then just take the trade. You shouldn't. I know obviously for you and for like a lot of the other people here, they're like it's new to them, so they're not used to just entering the trade right away. They get kind of nervous. The trade psychology gets to them. But for me, I don't even think about it. If I see this right here, like if I see this closing, my button is already on the sell. I'm ready to hit the sell. It doesn't matter if it retraces or anything. If this here
Yeah,
is met, if we see this rejection, if I see this is all I'm focused on. I don't care about the body. The body can move up and down as much as it wants. But if I see this rejection here, as soon as it closes, as long as it's still intact like that, I enter the sell right away. I don't even think about it. And then from that point, I just open my short position. I set up my parameters 50-50. And then from there, I pretty much let it run. I let it just set and forget, set and forget the trade. And then if it hits, it hits. If it not, then I move on to the next one. So yeah, like that, just let it hit. Like for this, obviously this one would take a little bit longer for it to hit. It took about like 3 hours. Normally it doesn't take that long, but this is also during Asia session, so slow session for us.
yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna come with practice. I think the more and more you practice and the more comfortable you get with the strategy, because like the more times you win, the more you're gonna be comfortable with it. You're not gonna be scared to take the trade. For me, I've been making a lot of profits off this, so it doesn't really bother me. Like if I take a loss, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make it back on the next trade. So I never get stuck on one trade. I just keep going and going and going whenever I see an entry.
yeah. So can you draw the like zones on 10-minute again?
Yeah,
Like
sure.
I'm having a much problem drawing the zones because there are too many.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, definitely. So let me see if I can find oh yeah, back this up a little bit. Let's delete everything off here. So I'll turn on the K2SR. And then yeah, so basically what I'll do is I'll just draw the zones off. And one thing to keep in mind is I don't know if you noticed this, but each zone has its own channel. So it has two lines that are connected to it. Like for right here, there's a zone down here, right? There's two lines that are connected. So you know which ones are supposed to be connected with each other. So like if you're doing the scalping, I recommend just unless they're really close, you can combine them. But if they're kind of spread out even by a little bit, you can just uh, you can just draw them as separate zones. Like for example, right here, we have this lower zone. And then if the bigger zones engulf the smaller zones, like for example here, you see how this green zone is within this red one?
Yeah,
So if that happens right there, just use the bigger one. So if this red one here engulfs the green one, just draw one big one like that. It makes it a lot easier.
okay.
So like for example here, and then it's a lot easier if you go to the left too to see where the zone was created. So if you see the zone was created there, You just go over there and then you draw over it. So like for example, right here, this green zone over here, you zoom out, you can see that the green zone starts way over here. So it's probably easier if you just go to the left and then you just draw the zones from where they begin. So like for example, here we have separate zones. This point there, and then this one right here. So I'm probably gonna make a new video explaining this, what I just explained to you, because I know for some people they have problems drawing zones. But looking at this right here, after you have that, you're pretty much set. You have all the zones drawn up. It's perfect.
Yeah, I was about to say you that you can make a whole video on this particular strategy and
Hmm.
like uh, give it to the members so that they can like clear all their doubts, because it is like a faded, like the strategy is faded in their mind, like they know half of the things and they don't know half of the things.
Exactly. For me, it's like it's already second nature. I don't even have to think about it. I know how to do everything already because obviously I created the strategy and I created the indicator, so it's easy for me to do. But yeah, I think once I create the strategy, I'll do a step-by-step video of every step, like drawing the zones, turning on the pivots, doing pretty much all that stuff, so that you guys can follow along. Because I know for you guys it might be a little more difficult because obviously for me I created it, so it's I know how to do it in my head. I don't even need any of these indicators. I can just do it if I wanted to. But that's why I created these indicators to make it easier. Because obviously if you don't have the K2SR, it's impossible for you to really find those zones. If you just zoom out from here, like those
Yeah,
zones, you can't see it just by looking at the chart. It makes a huge difference when you have that. But yeah, once you have the zones drawn like that, it makes things a whole lot easier because you have so many rejection points. You're just looking for those requirements, like right here, rejection, sell. It makes it so simple. Like you don't even have to think about it when you enter the trades because you just wait for those rejections. And then once you have that, you can take the trade right away.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So is there any other questions or are you?
No, this was all.
Yeah, I think it'll be better once I have the video explanations. I think it'll be a lot easier for you guys to follow along. I think right now because I still haven't created the actual strategy video, it's kind of hard for a lot of people to really understand, what to follow. But I think over time, um, once I need to break it down for you guys. Like I really need to break it down to the point where anyone can pick this up because it is simple, but it's also a little complicated if you don't know what to look for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
definitely.
like right now there's
Mhm.
a like it's our trade hit SL, I think, and there's a bearish candle. I think that didn't touch the pivot. I
Sorry,
think.
Bernard. Your volume was like going in and out, so I didn't really hear what you said. Can you say it again, like really quickly?
Yeah, right now that trade that we were taking, it hit SL, I think, and that bearish candle doesn't touch the pivot. If it touched the pivot, we can take a sell, right?
Yeah, yeah. So are you talking about this right here, or any of these over here?
No, right now that we were taking the trade right now.
The wait, oh, current time, because this isn't current time. Let me go to current time. So you're talking about this over here?
Yeah,
Yeah. So for this, I mean, I wouldn't take any of these trades right here because it's Friday and market's consolidating right now. It's going sideways. So I wouldn't take the trades because you want to take these trades when it's actually moving smooth. But like right now, currently, I wouldn't take the trades right now because obviously, you can see markets moving normal here. Right here, it's just being manipulated. You can see price going up and down, like back and forth. Like for example, here it's spiking down 3,000 pips, and then from there spiking back up 3,000 pips. It's going to
yeah,
be impossible for you to really catch trades because you're just going to get stopped out both ways.
yeah. I think Cheryl mentioned it in the chat that Fridays goes like this only because they are like manipulating the market too much, and she's like making money on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she's scalping on it. I just don't know I think she's doing it on a different time frame because it's kind of hard for you to do it on the 10-minute because you're only shooting for like 500 pips. You know, obviously, if you're doing 500 pips, these are like 3,000 pips, so you're not going to be able to really scalp like that on
Yeah.
here. She just gets the rejections. I think she's catching the rejections whenever it reaches. I think she has like she's drawn zones where it's ranging, and then yeah, like for example here, she just draws like the zones where it's ranging from, like up there, and then also down here, and then she's scalping within this area. Within these areas, whenever it comes down, she scalps back up. Comes up, she scalps back down. So she's doing something different. She's not doing the same strategy that we're applying right now, because it's obviously it's hard to apply right now with how the market's moving.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's why it's better. Like a lot of times, it's just better to just sit out the market, especially on a Friday, because you don't want to get caught like in these moves where it's moving too fast. Because obviously, if you take a trade here, you can possibly get stopped out, or you can hit TP really quick. But it's just too risky. You know, you don't want to trade when there's manipulation like this. Like there's gonna be another day you can make more money. You don't have to just trade every single day and make every single penny that you can come across.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's see. Is there anything else you want to cover, Rune, or is that about it?
Oh, yeah, it's that about it.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I think what you should do is probably just practice more and just keep applying it. If you have more questions, just like get them down and then we can probably go over it again. Because I'm sure we covered a lot of stuff that you probably cleared up, any confusion, especially with the rejections from the pip,
Yeah,
the wick, I mean, and the structures.
yeah, this was the main thing actually. Like I was having like many confusions about it, and I'm not getting results, and I'm like not being confident about my trades because I'm looking for the wrong thing here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then now that we cleared it up, you should be good to go because now you
Yeah.
understand it.
So I was just saying that.
Yeah, like now you
Yeah.
understand it's a wick rejection, not just the body rejection. I think that was probably one of the things too that you were kind of
Yeah.
missing out on.
Yeah. But it is a game of patience for sure. Like
Definitely. It's
you
a
have to sit for hours and like just identify the right time.
hmm Yeah, I agree. And these live sessions help too because you guys can follow along with my trades as well.
Yeah. So next week, are you planning to come on YouTube or just give it the live stream to the members?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't really thought about it. I'm gonna talk to like the other members today or this weekend, and I'm gonna see like what everyone wants to do. I'll probably keep going on YouTube for a while. But we might, so I might continue to go on YouTube, but I might just stop the sign up. That might be the first thing that we do. I don't think I'm gonna cut off the YouTube that soon. We'll still do YouTube, uh, and maybe we'll do Zoom too. So if you guys want to ask questions like how we're doing right now, we might do that. But I think for the most part, we're probably going to just stop new signups because it's just too I get too busy because I want to just scalp and just make my own money from trading rather than teaching most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this was all.
All right. Cool. So I think that's about it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Definitely. Yeah. So just a quick message to everyone else in the group. So I think this is about it. Unless you guys have anything else, you guys can reach out to me, and then we can talk on Telegram. But I have a lot of stuff I got to answer all my emails and my 21 messages right here on Telegram. But yeah, everyone, it was good talking to you. I'm going to sign off right now. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out on Telegram.
Thank you, Shawn.
All right, no problem. All right, talk.